vehicle out here.
Okay, bottom line for me, if I were you, if it's not a real heartburn issue about being face-to-face with your taxpayers, I'd let the motor vehicle division do it. It's going to be cheaper for you. You're spending more to pay employees to do it.
The only concern we have there, will they do it here in Wasatch County, or will we have a regional area in Summit County someplace?
Yeah, you'd probably have to have a meeting with them and a commitment. But I believe you've got enough here that they would have an office probably here in Heber City. So they'd have to rent a place. You could rent them a place and then you'd make the money from the rent. So I don't know.
So let me make sure I understand. We're not required to have the motor vehicle as part of one of our offices.
No,
it's something we've chosen to do.
Yes, for political reasons.
And for political reasons.
Convenience to the public, I think.
Yeah, I think that's been the discussion. Is we don't, we like to have a place for the taxpayers to come and do their so they don't have to drive to Summit County. So that's just my opinion, but I wasn't sure. I was aware that we weren't required to do that.
No, you're not required.
It's a contract.
I can tell you right now, the tax commission probably wouldn't wish for you to give them, because it's going to cost them more.
So ultimately, it's the state's responsibility to come up with the solution.
Yes.
But as a good faith and service to our citizens in Wasatch County, we try and help with that.
Yeah, it was a decision somebody in your
well, long
position
before
or
us.
long before us. Exactly.
But then they came up and spoke to us a while back and said, if we decide to go that route, they might just pull out.
Of the county.
And threaten us to leave the county.
You know, I could start talking to the motor vehicle division right now and find out what their feelings are about it. Yeah.
If it's going to cost you guys more, why don't you guys just pay us more to do it?
He was here. What was
that's a good point. And they pay the same statewide, which is interesting too, because I'm sure in some counties it's hard to find people, and others they're thrilled to have that much pay.
I would be in favor of giving it back to them if they guaranteed we'd have an office here.
Yeah, I like
But if we've got to go to Summit County or Utah County to get our licenses,
Yeah.
that's
If
the
you'd like
deal.
me to, I'll start the ball rolling
Mike,
with
what
this discussion.
offices, is there anywhere around, if we were to go that route, is there anywhere, any buildings that would have an office that they could rent? Or would?
You mean
County office?
Yeah, or could we do what we've talked about, leave it there, but.
We don't really have any blank space we're not utilizing.
But they'd have
No,
to-
that's what I
they'd
mean.
have to go out on the market and find it.
In other places, is it ever combined with the driver's license?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if it is or not.
I don't think so, because that's as hectic as the that's as hectic as the motor vehicles.
But it's down the road, and there needs to space there.
There might be an office space down there they can rent, because they do have 3 state agencies in that one
In that
building.
building, yeah.
I'm okay with them starting the ball rolling on that discussion of separation, but I like what Steve said is, if we can get them to commit to keeping the motor vehicle office here in Wasatch County.
I think that was where we kind of got off track last time, is he thought that if that were the case, he would probably pull out.
And how long ago was it that you had that discussion?
It's been a year.
Who's the director now?
The new director
Brad,
is Monty Roberts.
No, Brad Simpson.
Brad Simpson retired.
Oh, I think that's
Just barely retired.
That's who we had.
2 weeks ago, we hired a new, in fact, Monty Roberts was a manager in our office.
Maybe not. Maybe
And
it's
he's been hired to be the director up there.
He was from
Is
Kansas.
that
So-
something you could help us with in the conversation?
Probably has.
Are you guys okay with that? If we continue?
I would like to have the conversation again with him anyway, only based on the workload of our folks that are in our
Okay, because I was told they would hire 2 people plus a seasonal.
That's what Brad told us. A lot of towns will have a seasonal for the high tide, and then 2
They're
full-time.
not compensating you for the seasonal. And they're paying you about $10,000 less for the 2 full-time people, right? So he said even with that, they would still probably move it to Summit. That's what he was
How many
saying.
how many full-time employees do we have that are doing motor vehicle right now?
We have 2 full-time, and then we share 2 employees with the assessor's office, so we have split salaries and duties on 2
So we kind of
additional
have 3
employees.
then. If
So
you add-
technically we have 3,
Yeah,
if you add all of it up.
Okay.
So in essence, if we move that out, we'd be losing one employee for the assessor's office, 2 part-time places.
And if we moved it out and they would hire 2.
Well, and there's probably a good chance they'd hire the same 2 that are there.
Maybe when we,
But
maybe we have the conversation with them so that when we have the more detailed discussion on how you recommend that we would make our office more efficient, we look at that at the same time
Okay.
and see if it fits with the,
Well, the other challenge is our data collector and our personal property. Half of their salaries is paid by motor vehicle. So if motor vehicle pays out, leaves, I don't have a means to pay for our data.
Sure.
The other half of their salary.
and I thought that's what you meant. One of them would be gone. Essentially, we'd have 1 instead of 2, enough money to pay 1 person instead of 2 currently.
Or we have to pay more.
Right.
But I think this is,
More for both of them.
I think we finally reached a point where we need to solve that problem. I do moving
At
forward.
the same time, I mean,
Well, we'll be forced to solve it at the same time, because if we split it, we can't cut a person in half.
well, we're only forced to do it if we separate.
Correct. So we need to at least.
Well, and I'm of the opinion now, even if we don't turn it back to the state, we need to find another office to run it.
No, that's Steve's right. I agree.
Okay.
Leave it in the location that.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have another location.
Correct. Just change the administration. But it's something we can figure out.
Yeah, we could, I think we discussed that when we start getting a little more detailed info on how we're doing this.
We'll help you kind of analyze the functions of the office and different job duties in comparison with other counties and how they've succeeded and failed, and help you understand that as well.
Wonderful. We go looking for that.
Thank you very much. Any other questions for Mr. Jolly? Thank you for coming today.